Welcome. We are deliberating about the way the Beej, Satta, Akash seed formates space, which has an expression as brick tree, and there being the next generation of the Beej seed. The Vedic mathematical chase is that Beej seed is one created entity. Being a created entity, it is a creation within creator's space. It is this feature of the creation and seed as a created entity of creator's space takes us to the creator's format parallel to the idol of Lord Brahma, creator the supreme. Therefore, Vedic mathematics chase initiation of Beej Satta Akash, seed format space for its expression as manifested phenomenon of brick tree leading to next generation Beej. It is this initiation which is taking us to the first step to chase the transformation of Beej as Ankur. This reach from Beej to Ankur as a Ankurit phenomenon is to be closely observed, as here is the proper hint for proceeding further for the chase of manifested expression of Beej Satta Akash, availing creators of format and expressing itself as Ankur. This chase, as such, is being planned for today's session for a chase in 6 steps. These 6 steps are in terms of the chosen set of formulations. The first set of formulations being taken up are Beej, Vriksh and Phal. The second set of formulations are Jeev, Purush and Putra. Third set of formulations is Ankur and Ankurit. Fourth set of formulations is Jad and Chetan. Fifth set of formulations is Panch Mahabhut, namely Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu and Akash. And finally, the sixth set of formulations is Istri, Purush and Dev. The very choice of these formulations on the face of it makes it clear that parallel to the phenomenon of Beej, Vriksh, Phal is being taken the phenomenon of Istri, Purush and Putra. This Jeev, Purush, Putra phenomenon and Beej, Vriksh, Phal phenomenon are being taken up just to point out that there are other parallel formats of manifestations of existence phenomenon, and as such the manifestation, expression, phenomenon of beach bricks is to be considered by having a comparative thereof with Jeev and Push. This basic technique of having comparative chase progressions is a unique of Vedic systems as it is in terms of this comparative progressions that the Vedic mathematics makes the chase as a well defined realistic evaluation phenomenon. Being a realistic chase phenomenon, it naturally gets centered around the specific mathematical processing, the Vedic mathematical processing of realistic existence phenomenon like Beej Briksh Phal and Jeev Purush Putra are essentially of geometric formats. These geometric formats as well are of sequential synthetic setup of Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu, Akash together as Panch Mahabhut, which is going to be the chase format of our solar universe. The solar universe with Sun, Surya at its center settles Sthapatya miring rod and the existence phenomenon within Akash, the fifth element, is of the format of Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu, and Akash. Therefore, the five steps long format of manifested creations within space as Panchama Bhut when is taken up for its comparative chase of the existence phenomenon of a solar universe of Sthapatya mirroring rod format of six steps, then naturally we shall have very clear insight before us that Panchama Bhut as such are taking us to the content foundation, while the Sthapatya miring rod as such is accepting a Jyoti format. This is Dravya, Divya Dravya for the Panchama Bhut and Jyoti for the Sthapatya miring rod or a pair of formats for which the first five steps are common, while in respect of Jeev Purush, the sixth element, Surya, is a distinct feature. It is this distinct feature in terms of which this pair of phenomenon get classified as Jad and Chetan and mundane and subtle. Therefore, we in the present session are just introducing the preliminary features of this set of formulations. These formulations have been chosen to initiate the chase, to have proper appreciation of the chase of the existence phenomenon of Beej, Satta, Akash by Vedic mathematical formats. We have be face to face with the formulations which are at its first instance permit their chase as their transcendental code values, namely the placement values of the individual letters of these formulations. And it is at the next step that there happens to be TTCV values, that is the transcendence through the vowels of these formulations. Therefore, here at this phase, we shall be essentially exposing ourselves to the pair of values which stand attached with the word formulations. First is the TCV values, namely the placement values of the individual letters of the word formulation. And the second is the transcendence through the vowels of these word formulations. Therefore, now, while we shall be having a planning for a chase of Beej, Satta, Akash, we shall be confronted with the set of formulations, and with respect to each word formulations we shall be face to face with their dual set of values. The first set of value is going to be TCV, and the second set of value is going to be TTCV. Now, the first set of formulations, namely Beej, Bricks and Fal, are triple word formulations of TCV values 16, 19, and 13. The TTCV values are the values which are being tabulated here in the third column. In the first column are mentioned the formulations Beej, Bricks and Fal. In the second column are mentioned TC values, as 16 is the TC value of the formulation Beej, 19 is the TC value of the formulation Bricks, 13 is the TC value of formulation Fal. Comparatively, a step ahead in column 3 are mentioned TTC values, that is the transcendence values, transcendence through the vowels of these formulations. The formulation Beej has a pair of vowels, elongated E and first vowel Akara, and the TTCV value for formulation Beej comes to be 12. The TTC value for the formulation Bricks comes to be 21. The TTC value for the formulation Fal comes to 33. One may have a pause here and have a glimpse that the TCV values are organized when along a cyclic order will take us to 13 to 16 to 19. And when the TTCV values are viewed, these will lead us to the 12 plus 21 is equal to 33. These are the features which will ultimately help us acquire proper insight and provide us an enlightenment about the organization format of the existence phenomenon, and also of the values and features of the formats of Beej, Bricks, Fal. The summation value of the TC values is 48, which accepts an organization as 2 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 6, which is parallel to the value of the dimensional frame of self-referral domain. 6 space has 4 space in the role of a dimension, which itself has 2 space in the role of dimension of a dimension. We know these triple values 2, 4, and 6 are the TC values which take us to the TC value of the formulation Rishi, the seer. We also know these triple values are the values of the first 3 letters of the text of Ganita Sutras. As such, this formulation, as it is permitting its chase in terms of the mathematical domains and mathematical processes of the Ganita Sutras. In this background, now let us glimpse the second set of formulations. These are Jeev, Purush, and Putra. See the formulation Jeev as well as TC value 16, like the formulation Beej. However, the TTC value of the formulation G is 21, while the TTC value of the formulation Beej is only 12. And we know that values pair 12 and 21 is a reflection pair. Now it is here where we can have we can have proper appreciation as to how the existence phenomenon of the beech, of the vriksha, and the existence phenomenon of the jeev and a purush are different formatted phenomena. Now, how we can have an appreciation of the existence phenomenon of the format of a beech in reference to the existence phenomenon of the format jeev is ultimately going to be our touchstone, our miring rod, our Panchmabhut and Jyoti relationship. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of virtue to chase the existence phenomenon of the manifested creations within Akash of our Surya Lok, then these formulations deserve to be chased for their TC values as well as for their TTC values, and also with the comparative setups for both formats of Panchmabhut and of the Jyoti. Now, here in this context, it would be very blissful observation that a Purusha and Putra both are having TTC value 0. This will bring us face to face with the ultimate limitations of the Purusha. It will also make us conscious about our limitations. It will also make us blissful about the role of the nature, the role of the Ishwar, role of the Vidya, and the ultimate Purusharth. Therefore, this chase is also going to help us acquire proper insight and to acquire appropriate enlightenment of the existence phenomenon of our solar universe in frames and without frames, including within human frame. A step ahead, now let us be face to face with the pair of formulations Ankur and Ankurit. Now, Ankur is of TC value 14, which is parallel to the summation value of fourfold manifestation layer of hypercube 4, the representative regular body of a force space, a real force space presided by Lord Brahma. Therefore, when there is an Ankur state of the tree, we have to approach it as initiation within creators of space. And blissful state is that TTCV value is -6. That is, it is of opposite orientation. And it is this opposite orientation feature which will further help us appreciate as to how here within creators of space, the synthetic domain splits into a pair of transcendental domains, and this is how there is a common creative format for both the hemispheres, how the creators of space absorbs inverse orientations, and it is how the synthetic phenomenon of pair of spheres is the reality of the creations. It is this reality, it is this insight It is this enlightenment which will help us appreciate the formulation Ankurit as of TC value 20 parallel to the synthesis value of a pair of transcendence ranges of zero order, and the value minus 3 will further bring us face to face with the split for a three-dimensional frame into a pair of three-dimensional frames of half dimensions of opposite orientations. It is this feature which is the feature in terms of which Vedic mathematics is successfully chasing the entire existence phenomenon of the manifestations of the vegetation world as well as of the consciousness world. It is this potentiality of the Vedic mathematics which deserves to be comprehended well. The next set of formulations are Jad and Chetan. The simple rendering for Jad is mundane and for Chetan is conscious, is subtle. The TC values pairs 1122 on the face of it brings us that it is a phenomenon of transcendental domain of 11 geometries range being coordinated for transition and transformation into a self-referral domain of hypercube 6 as a fourfold manifestation layer 4, 5, 6, 7 of summation value 22. Therefore, one shall sit comfortably and be parallel with the TCV values and TTCV values of this pair of formulations. It is this pair of formulations which will help us have a simultaneous chase of the mundane existence phenomenon of the trees and the consciousness existence phenomenon of human beings and other living beings. Now, the TTC values pair 27 and 132 as well further take us to that 27 is 3 raised to power 3. It is a half solid dimension. And value 132 is 11 into 22. It is parallel to a transition of the format from the 11 geometries range reach to the 12 components setup of the transcendental boundary of the self-referral domain. It will take us to the unification of the Dwadas Adityas and Dwadas Jyotirlingam. It is here where the potentialities of Vedic mathematics are self-evident and same deserves to be imbibed and to be availed for chase of the existence phenomenon of the mundane manifestations as well as of the consciousness manifestations. The next set of formulations are the Panch Mahabhut, as it is submitted at the outset that the mundane manifestation phenomenon of Beej, Satta, Akash as Beej, Briksh, Phal is a chase phenomenon of the format of a Panchma Bhut, Prithvi, Apa, Agni, Vayu and Akash, and this set of 5 formulations with their TC values and TTC values coordination deserve to be chased, and same will be chased when the chase of the existence phenomenon of manifestation of a beach as Briksh is going to be our project in the coming sessions. Finally, the set of formulations being considered are Istri, Purush and Dev. The formulation Istri is of TC value 12, the formulation Purush is of TC value 24, and formulation Dev is of TC value 22. C. The formulation Istri as well as formulation Purush are of TTC value 0. As we have seen in the previous steps, the formulation putra as well as the TC value 0. It is here where we can be consciously aware of our limitations. So the limitations of Homo sapiens, limitations of existence phenomenon within human frame is the first lesson which we have to learn, and it is by learning this lesson we shall be having appreciation of the role of the formulation there of TC value 22, which is parallel to the summation value of the fourfold manifestation layer 4, 5, 6, 7 of hypercube 6, the representative regular body of a sixth phase, which is the format of the sun. It is in this context that we shall sit comfortably and be through the format features and values of these six sets of formulations. And once we will be face to face with these formulations, particularly in reference to their TC values and TTCV values, we shall be having a blissful insight, and it is this blissful insight which will help us to have proper Vedic mathematical chase of the existence phenomenon, may it be a mundane domain of a Beej, Briksh, of Panchmabhut format, or may it be Chetan format of the Tripurush phenomenon as expression of a Jeev within human frame as the Chetan existence phenomenon of our solar universe. From next session, we will approach, we will have more close steps of chase of this pair of existence phenomena. Thank you very much.